Hi, this is a video in response to one of my users who reported to me that he has been having some issues with IPv regarding the relative paths, and he tried to describe to me what he was having. It seems like it's about the paths that are inside the script file. Um, he kept getting these configuration file errors, so I tried to reproduce the problem he was having. I was unable to reproduce the problem, so I tried, and then I thought maybe it would be the best to just do a recap of a whole tutorial video one more time, and just to go over the whole process and give some hints here and there, and maybe that can hopefully solve the issue for him. So the user that reported me this issue is Pritam. I hope I spell your name right, man. So I also kinda told about this problem into several other blog sites, and I have not received any reports from other users with similar issues. But let's see, maybe this video is gonna help solve those problems. So the first thing you do obviously is to go to the website, and then from there you can go to the repository. Um, the Once you're in the repository, I just downloaded the whole stuff as a zip. So if you look into the zip file, you're gonna have a couple of folders in there. The IPv folder, obviously, it's the main folder which has all the scripts that IPv needs to run, and then you will have two other folders of Circos. So these are the Circos versions that you're supposed to run IPv with. For those of you that don't know, IPv only runs with Circos version 0.67-7, and the reason for that is the newer bug fixes are not necessary for IPv to run, and they might be introducing some breaking changes. Due to that fact, I decided to fix the version of Circos. So if you want to run IPv, the safest bet is to use that version. You can get this version from the original website of the official website of Circos, or you can get it from the IPV's website, or you can get it from the repository just like I show you. But you will again see two different folders here for the same Circos version, and the reason for that is there have been some breaking changes between the two versions of Perl, namely 5.22 and 5.26, and that's mainly due to the parsing of regex. So I had to do some small tweaks. So if you're running on Perl version 5.22 like me, then use the first folder. If you're running a newer version of Perl, then you can use the second folder. So I have Perl 5.22, so I'm gonna use the first one. What I did is I just copied and pasted it into my C drive under Strawberry. I have Strawberry Perl installed, and I have different here versions of Circos, and I pasted it in here with the same name with a trailing underscore test. Okay, so here inside this folder, if you go to it, you will see the bin folder and then the Circos file. So now keep an eye on this file, because we need to update some other stuff based on the location of this file. Okay, so the next thing is to get the IPv folder, and I got it copied and pasted it somewhere entirely different than the Circos installation. So my Circos installation was in drive C, so I got this IPv folder, I copied it and pasted it to the drive D, and it's in drive D and right here. So after you pasted it, go inside the scripts folder, and you will find the main script that starts with SMP. So find that script, open it with your text editor, and then go to line number 903. Okay, so now you need this path over here has to point to the file which I have talked about. So the Circos file in my case was in the C drive, Strawberry folder, and then this folder name under the bin folder, and then the Circos. Okay, so the exact same file location has to be here. Okay, after you update this location, just save the file, and that's the only manual thing you have to do. After that, since this is the main script, you want to run the script from the same location. Okay, so you don't run the script from a different location. Otherwise, if you do that, if you run this script from a different folder location, then the relative paths inside it will not work. So what I will do is, since this script over here is inside the D drive, IPv project, release API, IPv test, blah blah script, finally here, so I'm in the same location, and I'm going to run the script. Okay, so the first thing it's going to ask you is about the relative paths. Don't do anything, just hit enter, and that's the default. And then what I have done also is that I got the input files from Pritam, and I got those 4 files and I put them inside the Circos P folder and then the input folder. So the 4 input files are here, and you don't do anything else. You don't touch the data tracks folder, you don't do anything in the outputs folder, and especially in the templates folder, you touch none of these files. These are all fixed. The relative paths is gonna take care of those things, so you're not supposed to change any of these things. Okay, so after you put your input files here, and then you run the script, you can now specify the name of the text file. So I'm gonna quickly pass over these things. I think in my previous videos they have been more in detail explained, so I'm going to quickly pass over these for Pritam. So let's say 1 till 100. Yeah, domain 1, very dark red. All right, no more domains, and then mRNA.txt. And what was the name of the gene? SAM D9L, huh? All right, and then what else was there? The snip file. So I had it here in the input, and then the snip file was, yeah, okay, mart export.txt, skip header, yes, 1 times tabs, enter, and now I wrote down numbers here so I can just quickly pass them. 4 4 8 4 3 -1, and I think for the transcript, yeah, and then 6 11 12 5. All right, let it parse through the variations. All right, and then for the conservation.txt. all right, no markup, enter, enter. So now Circos is going to start running. It all seems okay. If everything goes normal, in 20 seconds or so, you should have your output in the outputs folder, okay, here. And once you're done with this stuff, you need to clear out all these input files here. So what I do is, normally I make another folder and then I put the input files inside there. Okay, so that's basically it. So let's see if we're gonna have the output first. It usually takes about a minute. All right, okay, seems like it completed. So here's your output. You want to open the HTML one. So okay, normally just look at the inspect element to see if there are any errors, and if you see a blank white console, probably all went okay. Let me check your variations and stuff. Yeah, it all seems okay and all in order. So that's basically it. So I was not able to replicate entirely the path problem you were having, although I have some ideas what might be going wrong. So when I first ran the script, as I showed you, it's important that you go inside the path of the script that you're running and run it from there, because if you run this script from a different folder, then the relative paths are not going to work. They're not going to play nice. And there are two relative paths here, if I'm not wrong. It's been a long time since I've been looking to this file, and in 3 places. This one is not important. It's over here and here, right under line 903, the line that you updated, the one that you normally need to change. Just below that line, and there are these two directives for Circos. It kind of shows where the conf files are, and these relative paths are relative to the location of this script that you're running. If you're running this whole thing from a different folder, it might be that these 2 dots are referring to something else. So what I thought is, what you can do in that case is try changing this file into something like this. So here the only difference is I added 1 line. So these are the modules I've been using standard. I added here the find bin. Okay, so just add here find bin. That's supposed to be a standard library. You're not supposed to install anything for that. And then at 903, you normally have these 2 dots which refer to the location of the script. So 1 level above the script, inside the Circos-P folder, and inside the templates, the template conf. So to change that in the new version, you can say, since now you're using the find bin module, you say $find bin 2 colons bin / and then basically the same path. And what this is gonna do is basically this part of the string is the absolute path of the Perl script that you're currently running. And I hope this might resolve your relative path issue. So try this. So you change it at the 2 spots, don't forget, over here and over here. Okay, update the file like this. I tried running this on my own system. It was also running perfectly. So try running this, and if this solves your problem, just let me know, okay? And I hope this resolves your issue, man. So thanks for your patience.